Hello there, Christine here to share with you some crochet patterns. Now, I think I would call these not beginner patterns, not necessarily difficult, but they have a lot of little pieces that a beginner crocheter might not want to fuss with. It's not that the stitches are hard, so if you're ambitious, I say go for it and try one out. Anyhow, let's get into them. So today I want to share a couple of doll outfits. Niece's birthday is coming up, so I made an outfit for her 18-inch doll and one for her sister's 18-inch doll as well. So the first thing I'd like to share is a purse. This was the first thing that inspired me. And is that not the cutest thing? This is a I don't know, beach bag, tote bag type size, and I'll show you in a minute how it looks on the doll. Made of scraps, pretty much all single crochet. It's called the Summer Bag for 18-inch dolls, and this pattern, I didn't put it down. Oh, here we go, by Stevie Hill from Crown Country Crochet. I'm not sure if I found it on YouTube or Ravelry. I think it might be on Ravelry. It was a free pattern though, and I think it led me to her web page, and then you kind of have to scroll through some commercials, but you can see the whole pattern there. I think that's how it went. It's been a little while since I made this. I finished it in April actually. So anyway, this was the first part of the outfit. So then I had to try and think of something to make in one of these colors so that my little tote bag would match. I can't tell you how much yarn I used for this because it was all scraps. This is about 6 inches in diameter and 9 inches from the top of the bag to the bottom. So perfect for an 18-inch doll. And I'm pleased with the pattern. It came out exactly as it was shown on the pictures, and it doesn't have a closure, so your little girl can stuff it as much as she wants. I did struggle maybe a tiny bit on getting the tassels secured, and that's probably just to my own lack of experience. So yes, on this pattern I would say it'd be for an intermediate because there wasn't really a lot of instruction as to how to make the tassels or how to attach them. So she gives you the inspiration, but you kind of have to figure it out yourself. I actually used a video by Crochet with Tiffany. She has a great video on YouTube on how to make tassels. So I actually went with my notes from that video and made the tassels that way. So in the inside you do see all my little stitches securing those tassels on so they're not going to fall off when she plays with the purse. I gave the pattern a rating of 4 stars out of 5 and a difficulty rating of easy, experienced easy, I would say. Okay, enough about the bag. Next is the outfit, and I still have it on my doll. I have an 18-inch doll so that I can try on all the outfits. And here is her outfit. Is this not adorable? This is called 18-inch Charlie Mae dress, and it is a pattern written by Pamela Barton Yarborough. Oops. So there's her version, and again, I was looking for something in one of these colors of the bag, so I went with the hot pink, and something obviously that I'd have enough scraps of to complete the outfit. So it is a little dress with the jacket and a headband with a little flower and the matching shoes. And you can take the little jacket off, and I'll show you the back of the dress. And the cool thing I found is that lots of the stores have their own version of the 18-inch doll. So I guess the original was the American Girl doll. And this is actually the Target brand. I think she's called My Generation. It's called Our Generation is that's what the box looked like when I bought it a couple years ago. So cute dolls, and I think a good size for a small girl. The one I got was called Sienna, and I love her straight, thick hair. One thing I will say about that doll is she does shed hair, but she has plenty of it, so it's okay that a few fall out now and then. Anyhow, back to the outfit. So here's the dress. Is that not adorable? And a button in the back to get it over her head. Now, what I have found with the Target brand of the 18-inch doll is for these patterns that Pamela has made, I think she uses a different 18-inch doll. I don't know where she got hers from, but it's a little bit narrower in the hips than this doll. So when I use the pattern as it's written, sometimes things around the waist are a little snug. So what I found that works is I go up 1/2 size on the hook size. Where she says, you know, use a 4mm hook, I'll be using a 4.5mm hook. And that's what I did with this outfit, and everything fits perfect. So it's a great fix without having to fuss with a different number of stitches, because I know I would get all mixed up on that. So anyhow, that is the dress for the birthday girl, or the outfit for the birthday girl. And I just love how this little jacket comes off. And I think she is all ready for a birthday party. And I recommend Pamela's patterns. She has a whole slew of patterns on Etsy. And she really got into making patterns of like Halloween costumes for the 18-inch doll. So she'll have patterns for a little piggy or a cat or different characters from the kids' cartoons. I don't even know them all. There's a whole Harry Potter series, and just a bunch of really cute outfits to dress up your doll in a costume. So I thought that was cute. And I actually purchased all her doll patterns on a bundle that she was offering for a time. I don't know if she's still carrying it, but you could check it out on her Etsy channel. I will put a link to the pattern and to her YouTube channel in the description box below this video, so you can check her out and connect with her Etsy shop and look at those doll patterns, because it is so fun to make doll clothes. If you have not tried it, I encourage you to do so. I remember when I was a kid and we had these little dolls called Dawn dolls. We didn't get Barbies. The Barbies were the big ones. Dawn dolls were about half the size of a Barbie, and they sold all the outfits for them and the you know, all the accoutrements for that line of dolls. But I would get together with my friends and we would attempt to create doll clothes, and we did not. We might have sewn with a needle and thread, but mostly I remember just taking a piece of a scrap of fabric, tying it around her waist with a rubber band. And that was the outfit that we designed for her. So if you can teach your daughter to crochet, or if you know how to crochet, and you can the world is, you know, at your fingertips to design all kinds of fun outfits for your dolls. I don't think I'd be designing for a Dawn doll, because those things were pretty skinny. To make those stitches would be a challenge, or those outfits. But anyhow, I digress again. Let me show you the other outfit that I made, because they're both adorable. Hold on. I forgot to show you how nice the little purse fits. So there she is in just her dress, and see the little purse, perfect fit, I think, to get her shopping and whatnot. Okay, this one came out so cute. This is the first time I try it on the doll, and honestly, it is adorable. So there's her little hat. Okay, here goes. Is she not cute? Okay, so she's got a little poncho and her hat with the flower. It actually turned out to be a little bit of a slouchy hat, but that's okay. And her little frilly skirt, And then of course the matching shoes and socks. Oh, I think she's so cute. This is called, oops, she flips up a little bit there. This is called the 18-inch Shirley's Springtime Outfit. Here's the pattern by Pamela Barton Yarborough. And her site is actually called adoringdollclothes.com. There's the web address. And the little poncho comes off. Let me show you. And she's got this cute little blouse on. Oops. She needs some adjusting here. The little bow. I'm not the best at tying bows. And her little dancing skirt. I just love this. This is so fun. And there's the little button on the blouse to get it over her head. The one thing I found out, and there's just one stitch because I was one stitch short on that purple, but hopefully my niece will not mind. So one thing I discovered is this skirt is a little bit loose, so I pulled it up as much as I could. She had plenty of room at the bottom to put the shirt over it, and I think it'll stay on. But I'm tempted to put in a little drawstring so she can tie it in back and tighten it up so it doesn't fall off of her as she's playing. So maybe the half-size hook bigger on that one didn't work so great on the waist. Live and learn. But again, all scraps, and thankfully I was struggling to get this one completed with the colors I had. I ended up using more white than I intended here at the bottom because I ran short of the purple. That's a light purple and a dark purple there because I used the dark for the shoes. Anyhow, it works, but just barely. Thankfully I made the poncho first, so that is coordinated very nicely. So again, Pamela Barton, Adoring Doll Clothes, and I highly recommend her patterns. They are just fun to make, and she does a good job designing. And of course, you know, you can mix and match colors and make them as many times as you want and really have your doll dressed up nicely. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed.